Minor detail, minor detail. So going forward with coaching, I started posting videos, and then people were like, what are you doing? Why are you working out at home? And all this curiosity came along of being out of that comfort zone. And then came this point of being more vulnerable with people and opening up and being real and raw, because a lot of time we see social media as this perfect so-called world. She has it all made out for her. Kids are amazing. They probably don't fight ever. Her house is probably always clean, which is not the case at all. My house is 100% a mess all the time. Like last Saturday, we spent all day cleaning, and the kids went to bed, and I was like, it's going to be clean for 12 hours. Yay. And then they woke up on Sunday, and it was a mess again. So I just learned to let that go, and I try and be real with people and let them know that I am a real person. I am a real mom. I'm in that mom mode of just go, 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 go. And I fit coaching in throughout little cracks of my day. I personally wake up earlier so I can work the business side of doing my reach outs and just helping women who have sent me messages or emails or whatnot. I do that in the morning before my kids wake up, and then I do my workout. And then I get kids off for school. I set my phone down, and it's just mom mode until they're at school, and then I focus back at work. And then as soon as I pick them up, it's 100% mom mode, doing it all day long. And I just fit the business in small little cracks throughout my day. And I don't spend hours and hours and hours. And some days it's maybe an hour a day. But that's the beautiful thing about this business, is being able to do it when I want and be able to put as much time as I want into it. And I can step out of that comfort zone. For the longest time, I didn't want to have to post being real with people. And after my mom's death, I had one workout where it was Sean T's, and it was Friday Fight, and he has a lot of punching moves in that workout. And it was the perfect video, because sat there and I punched, and I worked out so hard that I started crying. And I ended up posting the video. I didn't cut it out because I wanted people to see that you can get to that point where you just have this emotional, mental workout breakdown, and it's okay. It's okay to have that breakdown mode even at home. Like, you can't really do that in class. I've seen like the emotion can get high in class, and I sometimes have to pull back the tears because the energy is so high. But that day I just let it go, and it felt amazing. It was like this emotional release that I was able to just let go. And I posted about it, and sometimes it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you've ever listened to Mel Robbins, and just go for it. That's kind of been my motto this year, is just to go for it, all in, and no regrets, because everybody needs help with something, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual. We all need some sort of help, and if we don't share that, we're just holding it into ourselves. We're not really doing any service to anybody. We're doing a disservice because we're holding it in, and we're not sharing those tips that we've worked, or the programs that worked for us, or eating habits that have worked, and different things. And so stepping out of that comfort zone and sharing why you're doing it, and having a bigger purpose of why you're doing something. I know being a mom is just amazing, but I was like, my kids are going to grow up and they're going to move out, and eventually I'm going to be by myself, and then what? That kind of freaks me out. So it's nice to know that I have all these women behind me who are willing to support me 100%, and I'm willing to support them 150%. And being open with people and sharing that with them, and being a mom and having my son here is just one of the most amazing things. And opening yourself up outside of that little bubble and expanding your network has been scary, but it's been entirely rewarding. And I always tell myself, at least this last month, if it's something that scares you, it's the thing that you need to do. And I love that, because most of the time, the things that scare me, I know I need to do it. I just have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and just go for it and do it, and not even think about it, and just dive all in, because we are changing lives. We're helping people. Like, somebody asked me what my why or my vision was, and I was telling her all these messages that I was receiving from people who were killing it and losing weight and changing their lives. And I was like, this is more than just a simple business. We are changing lives 100% and helping people better their lives. And I was like, what better way to do that at home and be able to be a mom and be a business owner? So that's kind of me stepping out of my zone and teaching every week. I still get 100% nervous. I get butterflies. I sit there and I'm just like, I'm nervous. But the moment I put on the microphone and the music starts, it's gone. And it's like, it's go time. I don't know what it is. I still get nervous, and I've been teaching for 4 years, and I still kind of get those butterflies of like, I can do this, I can do this, can I do this? And then I just go for it. So I would urge you to step out of your comfort zone if you're in this little bubble right here. Step out and broaden your horizons and look for a way to share a bigger purpose and do something, I don't know, just bring such great joy to people's lives and help them become better and stronger physically and mentally. So I know Ashley had some things to say, which I'm super excited, and one of her coaches.
Actually, I'm going to introduce Tiffany. So one second here. Share my screen, one sec. Let's hope this works. Are you seeing my slides? Let's see, share screen. Play. Is that working?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel so fancy. Okay, so I want to introduce Tiffany. She is a mom of 3. Isn't this, well, first of all, she's so photogenic, but she's really gorgeous in real life. But Tiffany and I met long time ago. Don't even remember last time I seen Tiffany in person. That doesn't matter though, because I see her every day online. She's a mom of 3. She lives in the San Francisco Bay Area, and she's a coach and she's a morning rock star. And I want to show you what I mean by that with this next slide. I hope she's okay with this. Every morning in our group, Tiffany and her husband work out together. She told me that they started to do this because he had a really crazy job at the time, and that was like the only time that they had together. So they started to work out together early in the mornings. And so like by 7:01 every morning, I'm seeing pictures of her and her husband that they've already finished their workout, and they're already like logging into the group and doing amazing things. So clearly, you know, Tiffany's like a great example of somebody who's like stepped outside her comfort zone. She's making things happen. She's in great shape, you know, she's super positive and bubbly, and it's because of all these things, you know, because she stepped outside her comfort zone. So I think Tiffany's going to share a little story about how she stepped outside her comfort zone. And I'm going to stop sharing here. Here we go.
Okay, well, thanks, Ashley. Yeah, actually, my husband jokes that Ashley has seen him with his shirt off more than anybody else in the world that he has actually never met in person.
That's true. I've never met him in person. That's true.
So it's kind of funny. Yeah, so it's been fun. But becoming a coach, I was like, oh, I really, like, I need to share. And for me, that's really hard because like Felicia, I'm an introvert and I do not really like to share. Like I'm totally fine doing the workouts and everything, but sharing it was really hard for me. And so when Shift Shop came out, I was like, you know what? This is going to be my opportunity. I'm going to do the program. I'm going to actually stick to the nutrition, which that's really, really hard for me to do. And I'm going to take a before photo and an after photo. And the goal is to see a difference so that I can post it on social media and show other people that if you follow a program that you can get results. And so that was really hard for me, but I did it. And luckily it was only a 3-week program. So it was very that seemed much more manageable to just stick with nutrition, especially for 3 weeks. But when it came time to post the before and after photo and like a little, paragraph about it on social media, I was like, I don't know, this is really scary. I don't know if I can do this. But I did, and I got a lot of supportive comments and, and likes and it was really a good experience to say, okay, this doesn't have to be a really scary thing. This is just, sharing that, we all are at different stages in our progress, and it's okay to be, over here, and it's okay to be over here, and it doesn't matter where you start, but as long as you follow the process, then you will see results. And so anyway, that really took me out of my comfort zone. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It's really scary to share it. Tiffany, I will tell you that the more you share, the less scary it becomes. Just because it, like something that was once uncomfortable for you, like for example, like when you became a mom, like, the newborn phase is like kind of overwhelming. But once you've done that, you're like, oh, I could do that again. Like that's okay. And so the more you do it, the more, and the consistent behaviors are just, it always surprises me. Like it doesn't matter how long I've been doing this. I feel like the consistent behaviors, even though I think like I want to cheat on them, every time I do, I regret it, because I'm not feeling like my best self. I'm not acting like my best self. It affects like my mental clarity, like my mood, everything. Right. So, you're doing amazing. Thanks for sharing that. I was thinking about a time that I stepped outside my comfort zone that really has nothing to do with coaching. It was a time, let's see, when I had my kids were, if I can remember their ages, 5, 3, and 9 months old. And I didn't have any kids in school yet. Let's see. So he had not yet started kindergarten. And my oldest had just been diagnosed with anxiety. And I was like, oh, what does that even mean? Even though I'm a nurse, I'm not a pediatric nurse. So and so there was a lot going on in our lives. My husband had switched jobs that summer and became completely self-employed. And I had also quit my job as a nurse, which was like totally my mom outlet. And I loved that people gave me a paycheck, and then I got away from the house. But all these changes had kind of happened in 6 months. And then I got this big, it was a big ask, at least I thought it was, to do this volunteer position at church where I was going to have to be like, in my mind, performing almost every Sunday and teaching children music. I am musical like in my previous mom life, but not so much, lately because of my mom responsibilities. So I said yes, because I knew it was the right thing to do. Like Felicia said, like it was like really stepping outside my comfort zone. And if it scared me, I knew it was going to like help me like center myself in my life. And I said yes. And actually what happened was, like, surprisingly, I totally found a lot of joy out of it, even though getting up there was so scary. Every single week, the entire 2 years I did it, I was like, what am I doing? And I had no idea, but I got up there and I grew to love it. It's like somehow like the stress of it made me like really have to extra prepare. And then I found like an increasing amount of joy in my life. And that's what totally surprised me. And I've seen in other situations where I've stepped outside my comfort zone that when you do that, you have like greater fulfillment and happiness in your life. And that's something I've been focusing on just in 2018. Like, what am I doing specifically? Like my daily actions as a coach. Someone's fallen. Do I love it? Am I really finding joy? Because no one, including our challengers, including like the people around us with their jobs, nobody's going to continue doing what they're doing long-term if they don't find like some element of joy and happiness and progress with it. And so I really had to like dive deep and like ask myself that, like, do I love this? The answer still is yes. I still love it. And like, how am I personally growing to like continually push myself and make myself step outside my comfort zone? Because like that is like the key to happiness, like progressing and finding like new ways to like push yourself and get excited about things. That is the key to happiness. Happiness for me is not laundry and dishes and all the things that totally have to happen to run my household. Happiness is like feeling alive and feeling excited about what I'm doing every day in small increments. I'm not talking about, I'm not a bubbly person. I am 100% not. In fact, if I could grant one like gift upon myself, that is what I would grant totally. But it's just to feel excited about the things that you're doing and feeling like you're making forward momentum in your life, in your personal growth, and who you're becoming as a person. And like this amazing trickle down effect happens. Like like, I mean, I can see it in Tiffany because I know that she has continued to be consistent after the shift shop, right? She continues to show up. And even though that 3-week program is really scary for her, now she's doing the 80-day obsession and killing it, right? So it's like, you have to start small somewhere, but I find that like an intense amount of like happiness and joy and fulfillment in my life always follows after I step outside my comfort zone. It doesn't always happen right away, but I know if I put the work in there, it will happen. So those are my thoughts. Anything to add? I have a question for people. Can we chat on here? Can we use the chat feature?
I can unmute everybody.
Yeah. So my question is, unless somebody had something else to add, is like, what's something, if you're listening, or what's like something you've done that's brought you like an intense amount of joy? I'm going to type something first. See if anyone else wants to chime in. So, something that's brought me a lot of joy is just having children. But then if you kind of like redirect like something that brought you joy, if you look back, all that, usually those things, I'm going to say most of the time, they take an incredible amount of work, right? And it took me stepping outside my comfort zone to make that decision to have kids. Anyone else want to add something? Something that has brought you a lot of joy in your life?
I will say, well, I don't know if Kirsten, or I don't know whose 503 number.
I don't know either. I'm not sure.
Or Kelsey. One thing that has brought me a lot of joy, I do massages, and that has brought me a lot of joy because it is health and wellness. And it's nice to have somebody come back to you and say, I felt amazing after a massage, because I know how good I feel after you're working out so hard, and then you go and you do self-care or you treat your body. It feels so good. I mean, it's sometimes really painful, and I won't lie that sometimes I will give a deep tissue massage, but they'll feel so good after maybe like 2 or 3 days. But they come back and they love it, and they'll keep coming back. So I was like, for me, massage, like all my work I do really brings me joy. Besides my kids, like they really do bring me joy amongst all the stress. And I thought about it on Sunday because I had to teach a lesson on Sunday, and normally that would freak me out. Like being up there in front of Relief Society, I would have been super nervous. But I got up there and it was just like, I'm teaching a class. And of course, it was on the Sabbath, and I was like, stuff that I'm not great at. I think doing something that you're not great at and then researching it and trying to find ways to improve your own life, it brings that joy into your life, even though it can be scary. Like I was still nervous to be up there, and I was like, what if I run out of things to say? What if nobody has anything to share? And then I had my lesson like 10 minutes after I start, which wasn't the case, but I don't know. I think it's great to do things that scare you. And I've been trying to get my sister to hold her, they got a tarantula. I don't know why. I told her, I was like, you need to go live and hold the tarantula. She's like, I can't do it.
I would watch that.
That's what I said. I said a lot of people would watch that because you're petrified.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a tarantula growing up, and we would hold it all the time. And I don't know if I could do it now. I'm like, that is really scary. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, those are kind of just side.
Yeah.
But
I think that's great. I mean, I feel like, we need to focus on ways in our lives to like I said, to be happy, because that's what's going to propel you forward. And, if you feel like you're hating something every day, you're just not going to do it. Right. So I encourage you to step outside your comfort zone. I don't know if Felicia or Tiffany has anything else to add. Thanks for joining us. Guys, have anything to add? No, I don't want to cut you off. Thanks for joining us.
you're awesome.
Yeah, you guys are great. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. It's not raining here, by the way, so that's good.
Nice. I was like, I want snow, but I don't.
No.
I'm like dreaming for summer, but I secretly want the snow because I don't want it in May and June. Like,
Oh, yeah. That's true.
thanks, James.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining
You guys
us.
are awesome.
Great day.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks, Tiffany.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.